Okay, I'm back and wanted to answer a question in more detail. This relates to the overlay of the 3 months on 1 month chart, and it's kind of screwed up. It looks good at first glance because we have a 3 month a charting, 1, 2, 3 months per overlay, but it's not quite right because if we look at the end, the last quarter starts on December, January, February, and not doesn't start on January 1st, which we want. Okay, so how do we fix this? It's not all that difficult, but let me run through it for you. First, we go to the data series panel, and we look at the data series. And okay, so it's okay. We have the monthly. That's good. Uh, uh, Monthly and 1 month per bar. That's good. We have plenty of data, sufficient data. However, the end date is okay because that's today, but something's wrong here. We need to start the data on a day that lets TradeStation, NinjaTrader count accurately. It has no problem counting 3 months at a time, but it doesn't know when to start. So in order to do that, we set this to custom range, and that gives us a starting date. And if we start at the first of the year, like this, January 1st, 2015, everything's going to come out just fine. And look at that. Okay, now we have the overlays calculated starting January 1st. And so the overlay for the last quarter is October, November, December, and then the first quarter, January, February, that kind of falls into place. So all that looks good, and that's how you do that. With some of the longer term charts, if you want to do a 6 month chart, for example, 6 month overlay, or some odd configuration, you might have to look at where the data starts as well as how much data there is. Okay, that's that. Let's see what the next question might be. There was another question about the white line here. What does this white line mean? The white line that is standing out very prominently in the middle of the channel and so forth. What is it and why is it there and so forth? Well, actually, I think that's the 1, 1 dot if I look at it correctly. We can check what any particular item is if we kind of lose track by going to the configuration panel. And we see, yeah, well, there's the category is turned on, and we go down to where the item is. Well, it has to be either 5 1s or 5 1 buys, but we know it's not that because those are set for dots. So the 1, 1 dot align 3. So this is what we're talking about here. If we were to set this for invisible, which is, I guess, the way that I would really want it to be set because I don't use it. Transparent. See, it goes away. Okay, so that's the answer to that. How to use the 1, 1 dot? Well, I'll leave it to you. It is the expression of the average of the high-low close of a single bar. So therefore, it jumps around way more than the PL dot. You might do something with the relationship between the PL dot for 2 bars or 3 bars and 1 bar, see how fast it moves. You might look at a trend. Sometimes we create a trend indicator that has 2 bars averaged and then the live dot, or the dot in formation. These things have uses, but I'll leave them to you to sort out. I thought for a moment it might have been the main channel, but we're plotting that in a different way. Let's see what we're charting this. So let's get rid of 1, 1, 1 dot and look at the main channel. Main channel is set as a dash. Sometimes I set this as a white line, and so this is much more easy to understand, right? Because you can see how it follows the slope of the PL dot. So from here to here up to there. Any given PL, 2 PL dots, from here to there. So that's how you identify individual items. You can also look at it in the data box. Okay, let's see what else we got to talk about. So there was another question about how we determine the value of the zones and areas. Okay, so here I have the classic Drummond tools on NinjaTrader, and I've set up so it displays only the bands and the PL dot and lines and so forth. So this is zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4, zone 5, zone 6. All right, now we know if we turn on the right price markers on the indicator that we'll get the exact values of the final tick, which is the live tick there. So we can go and we can trace these back and see exactly what these numbers are. So for example, the PL dot would be that number right in there. And you'll see prices. The price is black. The PL dot would be that slightly other color, and so forth. So that's how you get the the envelope bottom, the envelope top, the PL dot. So that's how you get the value for the live bar. And we have to do it that way because NinjaTrader does a bad job of actually displaying things in the data box. So let's see. We go look at the data box. In the data box itself, we can see the values by putting our thing on a price bar. Well, wait a minute now. I had my cursor on the price bar, but only a couple of these are displayed. 6 top, 6 bottom, envelope top. Okay, but what about 1 bottom and so forth? How do we do that? Well, go to the indicators. It's just because we haven't turned it on. We go to the indicator thing. We look at the classic tools indicators. We see, okay, we have the category turned on up here, and then we have turned on the zone shadings here. We take each one of these can be taken off, and then we go down to the individual plots, and we see that okay, we've turned on a plot for 6 top, 6 5, and we could see all these in the data box, but we couldn't see zone 1. Well, look at that. We hadn't turned it on yet, which means it can't be transparent. It has to be a color. So let's say it's dim gray or something like that. Make it like the others. We'll apply it. Now, if we go back to the data box, we would see it. And let's just make sure that I'm right. There we are, 1 bottom, and so forth. So that's how you do that. Also, it's perfectly easy just to use the crossbar, right? So what is the price here on the latest bar? What's the price of the top? If I don't want to open the data box, I can just go and put my crossbar there, and I get a very close approximation. So that's how you do this. Okay, this is for NinjaTrader only. So I guess the next question was, how would we handle more discussions about the energy, about EODM and the energy bands and so forth? And the trader was asking about the double dots in EODM. I'm not exactly sure what he was referring to, but we'll. The answer is very much yes. Yes, we're going to deal with EODM. We're going to deal with trading styles in EODM and in NinjaTrader in general, in all time frames, from longer term time frames as we've been doing in TradeStation, but also in intraday trading. And we're going to do this in a live session back and forth with customers, with traders, a small group of traders or a medium group of traders, hopefully, who will meet interactively once a week and have be able to go back and watch the recordings of these sessions and so forth. So kind of a little like private webinar just for us chickens who play with this rather crazy things. There's lots more to come. I don't want to do it now because these videos are getting long. But if you happen to be watching this on YouTube, please hit the like button. That's very helpful for us, and subscribe. If you're not looking at it on YouTube, that's great also. We'll probably find a place to post these on the web, on our website. And if you have questions or thoughts or things you want to see, please drop me a note and we'll get to it. Okay, thanks. Thanks for watching, people.